Good morning, everyone. This is me again, Teresa Damia Cabatos, your teacher in oral communication. So, welcome in our week 3. Okay, so our lesson will be about barriers in communication. Alright, so there are actually instances when miscommunication and misunderstanding occur because of certain barriers, right? So it is common in every time we communicate to other people. There are times wherein we encounter miscommunication and misunderstanding. So to become an effective communicator, you should recognize these barriers that hinder the communication process. This will enable you to control the situation, reset conditions, and start anew. So, we are now going to discuss about the barriers of communication. So, here is the first among the list. So, the first barrier we have here is emotional barriers. So, this is when you are very emotional when you are communicating to others. Let's say when you are angry or when you are happy or excited. So, these emotional barriers can also cause miscommunication or misunderstanding. So, say for example, you're having a bad day or you feel frustrated, right? So, especially if we are having a bad day, murag maka-affect yun na siya sa atong communication to others. Samot kung bad mood ka, right? And then, say, when your friend approaches you and tells you, hoy, maot lagi ka karon. So, bisag binuang na siya sa imong friend. And since bad mood ka, yung ka nga, unya ikaw, gwapa day ka. O, diba? So, your response is actually not good. So, there is already a miscommunication or misunderstanding in between because you were in a bad mood. Right? So, solution, what do we do? So, to recognize these kinds of emotions and politely ask the other person to give you a moment so you can relax or calm yourself. So, if you say you are in a bad mood and then isurang-surang ka sa imong amigo, right? Do not react right away. So, it is best if imuhang kalmahon, imuhang kaugalingon una. So, kalma sa una, friend. Usa ka mo reply. Kay, when you're at the peak of your emotion, when you're angry, nagsurang-surang ka, it's possible that you will say not so nice words to him or her nga makakos og mangluod siya, right? Or mag-away ba hinuon mo. Okay? Or say for example, you sit in a meeting or class where you think the speaker is boring, right? So, naamang gyud panahon class, especially let's say nagklase ta, right? And then naay panahon nga mabore gyud mo, right? Especially kamong mga bata. Karon millennials di na mo kaayo ganahan og kanang magleksyon si ma'am nga kintahay puro visual aids sa tanan, right? Takhan kay pilit-pilit si mga visual aid. Naana pod, piao na pod, right? So boring. So it is not nice nga imong ipakita ni teacher pod nga bored ka, right? It is an offense to your teacher. Murag walain baya sad si ma'am ana. So you have to somehow learn this emotion nga it's not good, and then kalma ra pod self gihapon, kalma ha, ayaw ipakita ni ma'am nga na bore ka. You may maybe excuse yourself for a little while. Mom, can I go to the restroom? Panghilamos dito kay para maulian ka sa imong ka-board, right? Okay. So the next in the list we have here is use of jargon. So unsa maning jargon class? Diba? So unsa gud nang jargon, ma'am-oy? So a jargon class refers to words nga dili common gamiton in a conversation. So kaning words nga dili mahibaw-an sa tanan, that is only used for some specific group of people. So say for example, you're thinking of you're asking rather your mom to buy you a new phone, kay ang imong phone is, let's say, low ang iyahang specs. So, gamay ra og mga memory, ba kumintahay, or hinay ba og processor, nana. So, mingon ka sa imong mama, Ma, paliti ko og bag-ong cellphone bi kay kinahanglan ako kaayo og kanang dako nga RAM nya kanang dako pod nga ROM saan ni akong cellphone nga sige ra man guglag kapoy kaayo, right? So iniingon nimo ni mama adto, do you think makasabot imong mama? Moingon ka, nakasabot ba ka si mama sa RAM, sa ROM, or naglag akong cellphone? Right? So, these are terms that we call jargon nga most probably dili masabtan ni mama. So, to simplify things, dapat when you explain things to your mom, maingon ka, Ma, I need a new cellphone kay kani akong cellphone gamay ra kaayog memory. Ganahan unta ko ma og na ako'y cellphone nga taas og memory nga 6 GB ang memory kanang kusog-kusog gud na siya mo process. Ang RAM unya storage pod ma 128 gig para daghan kog ma-save sa akong phone nga mga lessons para og daghan kaayo ng sulod dili pod maglisod akong phone, dili maglag, right? Di maglisod akong phone og load sa mga lessons nga naa gipangpasa sa online. So, inana pa explain mo ni mama, dili ka mag-use of jargon words. Okay? Kay di jud mo magkasinabot. Ag ending, di ka palitan ni mama og cellphone. Gusto ka? Dili, right? Okay. So, next is lack of confidence. So, unsa maning lack of confidence? So, lack of confidence, class, this is when dili ka kaayo confident sa imuhang istorya, maunang murag dili pud nimo ma-explain og tarong ang mga dapat nimo istorya, right? So, say for example, you're asked to share something about your day or weekend, but you are hesitant because you are shy. So, maunay kasagara nato, no, especially if tawgon mo ni ma'am, unsa may pasabot nimo og kanang use of jargon. So, bisan pa og nakasabot ka, wa kay confidence nga mosulti because you are asked, say for example, ingon si ma'am, okay, speak in English. Nya, you know for yourself, nakasabot ka, unya, ganing lang kay di ka kaayo kahibaw mo speak in English. So wa kay confidence nga mo speak in English. So you're afraid nga dili nimo ma-express og tarong ang imuhang gipangsulti. So what is a solution for this? So you have to develop self-confidence by joining organizations. Kana bitaw mag-apil-apil ta, class, kanang kintahay sa inyong youth, kanang mga parish youth ministry, or kanang mag-apil-apil og choir, or mag-apil-apil og mga Girl Scout, Boy Scout. So any organization that can help you boost your confidence. Kay anaan ka ma-train, diba? Ma-train ka og unsaon nimo pagka-confident in doing something. Okay? So, next is noisy environment. So, maog yun ni class ang pinakagrabe, noisy environment. Especially og mag-klase ta, right? So, kanang mag-face-to-face class ta, kanang banha na kaayo ang mga estudyante. Do you think inig magbanha mo, makasabot pa mo ni ma'am? Nya ang yung leksyon kay math, algebra, right? So, imbes kay lisod pa ang subject, banha pa gyud, di ka maka-concentrate, di ka maka-focus. That means, barrier to communication na siya. Wala nakasabot ni ma'am. Or let's say you're having a conversation with someone, diba? So, naakintahay kay istorya. Nakalit lang na ay nagbanha-banha, nagpa-music ni doon ni mo kusog kaayo. Diba, masturbo ka, malagot gani ka, samok, hawa, ana ba? right? So, noisy environment. Just like, so, unsa may atong solution na na. So, recognize that noise is a common barrier. So, make some adjustments by asking someone to minimize the volume of their sound or music. Okay? So, aside from the mentioned above, there are also others that is common communication barriers. So, we also have here language barriers. So, also known as semantic barrier or the use of jargons. Or language barrier class, if say for example, kita, Bisaya man ta, right? We are speaking the Cebuano. Now, if we talk to someone and nga taga Luzon, Kumintahay, so magtagalog siya. There are times nga dili ta kaayo makasulti og Tagalog. Mura tag mag-iniboy mag-Tagalog, right? That can lead to barriers to communication, language barriers. So di mo kaayo nagkasinabot sa inyohang language nga gigamit. Next is psychological barriers. So if we say psychological barriers pertains to feelings and emotions. Okay, so kanang galabad imo right? Nya surang-surangon ka or gikapoy ka, right? Nya na ay magpatabang nimo. So, it's possible nga na kay masulti nga things nga dili maayo. Okay, next is physiological. The third class will be physiological barriers. So this kind of barrier is the incapability of the parts of the body such as poor eyesight, poor hearing, or etc. Right? So physiological class. This is about physical nga problema. Let's say mabasaha ra gud ni palihog unya kanang hanap-hanap na day imong mama. So unsa gud ni nak? Unsa gud ni? Sa mukang mama, oy ina basaha. Right? So lugos mga kita si mama. So, there is already a misunderstanding. Or, ingon ka sa imong lolo, Lo, gwapa ko no. Ingon po imong lolo, ha? Unsa? Unsa imong giingon? Diba? Sa muka lolo ba? Gwapa ko ba? Siya nga, kinsa? Unsa? Right? So, bungol. So, there can be communication barrier as well. Next in line, we have physical barriers. So, also known as environmental noise. So, muna ito itong noisy environment. Fifth is systematic or systemic barrier. So, pertains to the ineffective communication of the rules in an organization. So, if naay particular rules sa organization and wala nimo ma-follow, then there could be a misunderstanding. Okay? Next is attitudinal barriers, so such as shyness and lack of confidence. So attitude na siya class, which attitude can be pwede siya overcome. So pwede ka mo improve, can be improved. Okay, so I want you to answer the activities that we have for this lesson. There are about 6 of them. So please write A for language barriers, B for psychological barriers, C for physiological barriers, D for physical barriers, E for systemic barriers, and F for attitudinal barriers. So I want your class to only write the letters. So number 1, let's say number 1, my mom is shouting at me because I went home late. She keeps on saying all the wrong things I did in the past, and I believe she's mad at me. Maybe she doesn't love me anymore. So, asa man kaha ni siya na fall? Huh? Where do you think does this fall? Maybe she doesn't love me anymore. So, ato ni siya sa psychological barriers. Okay, so I guess this is very easy. Please answer all of them. Alright class, so I hope you are done answering the activity below. I will not be anymore discussing the day 2 and the day 3 since it is very easy. So just make sure you read the concept notes so you'll be able to answer the activities for this week. I hope you enjoy answering and see you again next week. Goodbye.